morning live Zoom. And we've got some wonderful snow, light snow falling today outside. And so I know quite a few of you are joining us on Zoom this morning, or you're watching us at your convenience when you get back from vacation. So, but you are all welcome with us today. I'm Pam Brandman, Senior Minister here at the Center. It's my joy to welcome you here today. And daylight savings time does start today. So if you're still sleeping, you can watch the recording on Monday. All right. But whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We know that there are many paths to God, but they all end in oneness and in love. We are grateful that each of you is here with us today, whether you are here in the sanctuary or on Zoom. Our center's purpose is love. Our vision is embracing all and serving with love while we awakening to the one. We start our service with our receptivity statement that you'll see on the screen. If you would read along with me while we all stay muted. I am here by divine appointment. Something I am about to hear applies to my life. I am open, receptive, and willing to explore the possibilities. Our musician today is Tuck Wilson. And Tuck is part of the local North Tahoe local scene since he has been performing at Grand LeBlanc, Cedar House, and the village of Palisades, Tahoe, and other nearby venues for 2 decades, right? Tuck's extensive reservoir and his cheerful personality make him the perfect person for our March theme of Spirit at Play. And so it's my pleasure to welcome Tuck Wilson.
Thank you, Reverend Pam. And thank you for suggesting this song. You made my life a little easier. Thank you. Lighten up, yes, lighten up. Don't take yourself too seriously. Lighten up. Whoa, lighten up. Don't take yourself too seriously. I don't see how it could be any fun walking around like you're number one. Everybody asking your name, trying to figure out the rules of your game. But as for me, I like to lay low. I like to watch the birds outside my window. You look like you've come a long, long way. But if you're looking to be happy, all I have to say is lighten up. Just lighten up. Don't take yourself too seriously. Lighten up, whoa, lighten up. Don't take yourself too seriously. I don't make a fuss about money. Some days I don't make any sense. Every day's the world of discovery. Every minute singing is a minute well spent. So lighten up, yes, lighten up. Don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up, oh, lighten up. Don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up, lighten up, oh, lighten up. Don't take yourself so seriously. When I think of all the time I've wasted, makes me want to turn the clock back so I can change. And though the past is gone, there's nothing left to do but carry on. So lighten up, yes, lighten up. Don't take yourself so seriously. Lighten up, oh, lighten up. Don't take yourself too seriously. Lighten up, Lighten up, don't take yourself too seriously. Thank you.
Serious things going on in the world right now, and sometimes we need to remember to lighten up and remember that spirit is always with us. And our practitioner today is Michael Brandman. Michael also enjoys playing here in the Tahoe-Truckee area. Depending on the snow depth and the temperature, you can usually find him out skiing or bicycling or on his electric bike, kayaking, hiking maybe. But like many of us, he feels close to spirit whenever he's out in nature, and it's wonderful beauty. So please help me welcome Michael Brandman to provide our special reading and our invocation.
Good morning. Yes, I just got back from Mammoth Mountain, 3 days of fantastic skiing and some very light powder on Thursday morning. It was just fabulous and joyful and peaceful and wonderful. So continuing our theme of joy and laughter and lightening up. Thank you, Doug. I'm going to be reading today out of the Science of Mind magazine from our spiritual leader, Edward Villon, who's also the senior minister at CSL in Santa Rosa. And his message this month is joy, a relief and a revival. How wonderful it is that our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, prescribed joy as essential to being successful in life. On page 302 of the Science of Mind, he writes that we should radiate joy and be filled with faith, hope, and expectancy. These cheerful, hopeful attitudes of mind are indispensable to the one who really wants to do things in life. Though Holmes formed this opinion about joy and cheer a long time ago, a substantial body of research today confirms that happiness-causing activities are beneficial to our well-being. We can also trust that our experience of joy, the feeling of being happy, tells us something. Laughter feels good and happiness feels terrific. Joy is lovely. What though if you cried yourself to sleep last night? What if you faced a significant challenge? Is it enough just to be happy? No. There's such a thing as appropriate sadness, and there's such a thing as forcing yourself to show up cheerfully before you are ready to do so. There is spiritual wisdom in us we can trust that knows when it is appropriate to take the steps we may need toward our well-being. Try this gentle and easy way of introducing humor into your life when you cannot generate joy yourself. Ask people you spend time with, what is the funniest thing that has ever happened to them? When I laugh hard enough, I sometimes cry. The experience reminds me of the lyrics of a Joni Mitchell song in which she says, laughing and crying is the same release. That lyric is a clue that has helped me nurture humor and happiness to balance the stress of life with a tonic of laughter. Sometimes I get so busy in sorting out things that I lose track of my center of joy. When I notice this, I look for puns. Watch a silly movie, talk to a child, or do something playful. The release these playful activities is like opening a window of possibility in my heart. Laughter relaxes the body and boosts the immune system. It triggers the release of endorphins and improves the function of blood vessels. Laughter can also help me relax, recharge, and most importantly, can change my perspective. It is not that my problems disappear. It's more that I've opened myself to the experience of being free for a moment. And in so doing, I'm relieved and revived. So today, in these seemingly difficult times, especially in Europe and in Russia, uh, we know joy, we know peace, and we know that joy and peace are within. And I'm going to just use a few words blending my affirmation today with those of Eugene Holden, who writes in the Science of Mind magazine, Spirit of Play. He does the monthly personal affirmations. So, as I said earlier during the meditation, I know God is joy, is peace. And I know this peace is in me and through me. And if that is so, then it is also in everyone in this community, in our spiritual community, and in the world, and those that are having troubled times in Europe. So we see this in many of the Ukrainians that we may watch or listen to, even though they're going through hard times. And as Eugene says, today I smile at life. I smile at the wonderful ways life shows up. Life is so good that I cannot help but smile. I say the good in life. I allow myself to flow with life and play fully in life. I love being part of play called life. I play my part with gratitude and joy. I'm filled with gratitude for the awesomeness of my life. My life is amazing. I am amazing. Everything I see amazes me. I live this day in wonder and awe. And thank you, life. And I also am grateful and thankful for Reverend Pam, for Karen, for Tuck, for all of those that helped in hospitality today and receive their blessings and vice versa. So knowing peace and joy and being grateful, I release my word into the law, knowing that joy and peace are right here, right now. And together we say, and so it is. And I'm going to introduce Tuck and walk back to the camera. So you'll see him momentarily.
So this is a song that I wrote while I was still in college, because that was the time of my life when I first noticed that there were people around who always had some kind of drama going on in their lives, whether it was an imagined slight or a life-threatening situation like a hangnail. There was always something to be upset about. So the third verse, I guess, sums up my advice, which was in 2 words: lighten up. It's easy to make life seem a tragedy. It's easy to make it seem hard. It's easy to make things the worst they could be. Easy to tear yourself apart. You've seen Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, and you make yourself a wreck over nothing at all. Imagining your life on a wide silver screen, dramatizing every act and living in a dream. 'Cause it's easy to make life seem a tragedy. It's easy to make it seem hard. It's easy to make things the worst they could be. Easy to tear yourself apart. You hear it on the radio in almost every song. The heartbreaks of loving, oh, where did we go wrong? soon get to thinking that that's the only way. You gotta cry yourself to sleep at night and drink away the day, 'cause it's easy to make life seem a tragedy. It's easy to make it seem hard. It's easy to make things the worst they could be. Easy to tear yourself apart. But that's the exception, it shouldn't be the rule. You've learned to identify with playing the fool. When will you realize that people are not toys, and you don't have to suffer but only enjoy life? It's easy to make life seem a tragedy. Easy to make it seem hard. It's easy to make things the worst they could be, and easy to tear yourself apart. Thank you.
That's a perfect introduction to what I want to talk about this morning, which is a spoonful of humor is the medicine, right? You know, what is your favorite cartoon or joke or comedian that makes you laugh out loud? You know, I can remember Charlie Chaplin or the Little Rascals, Carol Burnett, Betty White. You know, they've all endured as our favorite performers. Why? Because when we hear them, we pause and we smile, and we often laugh out loud when we see and hear them. You know, Saturday Night Live is in its 47th season. I think it's a little bit loud. Yeah. And The Simpsons are in their 33rd season. You know, on late night TV, you know, back in the 60s, there was Johnny Carson and Jack Paar. Now, nowadays, there's the slapstick comedy of Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, that they're competing with each other. But maybe you prefer Stephen Colbert and John Oliver with their news satire, right? People like to laugh and relax right before they go to sleep, and it helps them fall asleep more easily and sleep more soundly, even if they are a bit more tired in the morning. But of course, nowadays, you don't even have to stay up late to laugh. You can watch it pick out your own favorite time, right? Now, there's a newer entry into the TV comedy lineup that has been winning lots of awards this year. It's called Ted Lasso. It's on Apple Plus TV. And I didn't know what is all this fuss about? Well, Michael and I started watching it recently, and we found out that it's really funny. You know, although it is definitely R-rated humor, don't have your kids watch it. It is sweet humor, and it makes the case that good guys can actually win. Right. So why are we talking about all these funny people in shows on a Sunday morning, and especially with the Ukraine war going on the other side of the planet in Europe? You know, as Michael shared this morning in the reading by Dr. Edward Villian, happiness causing activities are beneficial to our well-being. And it's a lesson that Tuck learned when he was in college. You know, we can choose to be joyful in the midst of whatever is going on, because it's an inner feeling of joy that comes from the divine, that comes from that connection. It lets us know that we're alive and we're part of the one. Now, stress has lots of effects on our mind and body. You know, according to the Mayo Clinic, stress has a serious impact on our mood and our state of mind. We can react with anxiety, irritability, a feeling of being overwhelmed. I talked about that last week. And ongoing stress without relief, it can even lead to a lack of motivation, perhaps even depression, right? Pretty serious. So think of how the fear in the last year, the fear of catching COVID, staying at home orders, social distancing, face mask, no face mask. It just stressed out so many people for 2 years. It's not even quite over. Well, our body temples also react to stress, not just the mind. And so we have fatigue, maybe sleep issues, headaches, chest pains, lower immune system. We can get distracted. I know when I get distracted, that's when I end up getting a ticket or maybe get in a car accident, right? It's a broken wrist more recently, right? So all of these mental, emotional, and physical reactions to stress they disconnect us from joy and from wholeness. And this causes even more stress. It's a vicious circle that goes round and around. The stress gets worse. The feelings and impacts on our body and mind get worse. Just dig that hole deeper. Now, science of mind and the spiritual principles can guide us to find a way to heal. In the new Ernest Holmes, in the glossary of the New Thought Dictionary, he says, we heal thoughts, not people. The spiritual person is never sick. Spiritual healing consists of changing psychological thought patterns, right? In Science of Mind, we learned that it's important to look directly at the causes of our stress and our reactions to it. Those are a choice. We learn how to make changes in our thinking so we can change our lives. And this week in class, we talked about how the stories we tell can affect our relationships. We talked about the importance of forgiveness and freeing us, more than the person we're forgiving, freeing us to live in the present and a life without that stress. We want to affirm wholeness for ourselves above all things. This is the truth of who we are as spiritual beings. But if we continue to overwork ourselves, to worry ourselves sick or hold grudges, we're still going to continue to experience all the resulting stress and negative impacts on our body and mind. It takes real changes in our thoughts and actions that supports healing, that will reveal that true spiritual being within, that wholeness. You know, it may be easier to make key changes in your life if you get some help along the way. You could take classes to learn new ways of being, or maybe you want to, praying is also very important, and working with a practitioner, sometimes having that third person there who's trained to pray with you and support you through the spiritual transition helps you get over an especially high hurdle. Maybe it's something that you've been doing your whole lifetime until now, and learning a new way can be faster and easier with some help. You know, a spiritual teacher is going to tell you to find solitude and peace. They may say, just be, you know, be present with spirit. You know, and then the wise teacher might tell you what to do in order to be. And so they may tell you to practice yoga or pray. They may tell you to meditate for 30 minutes. Maybe they'll say, and we're in Tahoe, just be in nature. And that might turn into go take a walk in the woods or go skiing through a valley, right? Now, one of the wisest spiritual teachers that I ever knew was Frank Sinatra. And you say, yes, I do mean Frank Sinatra. You know, Socrates told us to be is to do. But Frank made it much more simple to remember. Don't you remember his song, Doobie Doobie Doo? Right? It's one that kind of sticks in my mind, and sometimes it comes up at a very good moment, right? Now, another saying from Ernest Holmes in his book, Ideas of Power, is there is a laughter of God. Let's laugh it. There is a song of the universe. Let's sing it. There is a hymn of praise. Let's praise it. There is a joy, a beauty. There is a deep, abiding peace. Let's experience it. You know, Ernest is telling us to express that joy and the beauty of our inner spirit, right? Opening up our hearts to that deep, abiding peace and love that are the essence of who we are. We are an expression of our divine creator, right? So as an example, if you're married, imagine if you acted towards your spouse during the dating phase of your relationship as you are acting now. I mean, do you think you'd still be together, or you would have gotten together in the first place? Yikes, maybe not, you know? So would he or she have stuck with you? Maybe not. So remember how you wowed your partner when you were first dating? You know, with that enthusiasm for them, you paid them attention and you said, I love you over and over every day. And you acted like you meant it. Right? Gifts, public display of affection, acts of service. It puts you both in a state of bliss And in fact, the more you acted like you loved each other, the more you fell in love, right? Maybe it's not the big romantic gestures like taking them out to a fabulous meal at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or the Chart House, but you might want to try something a little more romantic than maybe McDonald's, like at least take them to Wendy's, right? You see, it's important to be intentional and on purpose in everything you do. And when you do, your life will be much more meaningful. And so when you're more meaningful, when you're intentional and you're on purpose about what you're doing, your life experiences then will match your divine purpose. I do recommend, however, that you don't act like the kamikaze flight school instructor who told his students, now watch carefully, I'm only going to do this once. Right? Laughter is a solution. It allows us to embody joy in the midst of whatever is going on. In addition to the science mind methods of change your thinking, change your life, we can also seek change on an energetic level, on that body level, to release the old harmful patterns. And so if we want to embody these new thoughts, these new ways of being, this connection to spirit and to joy, there will be shifts in our thinking and in our behavior. We can embrace joy. So choose to laugh daily. Really belly laugh literally changes the mind and body, right? Now, Voltaire said, the art of medicine consists of amusing the patient while nature cures the disease. Catherine Ripperger Fenwick, she's the author of Healing with Humor. She says, your body cannot heal without play. Your mind cannot heal without laughter. Your soul cannot heal without joy. According to the Neuro Leadership Institute, the latest scientific research is documenting the power of laughter. It reduces the undesirable levels of cortisol in our bloodstream, and it increases the desirable level of several brain hormones, one of which is dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. Overall, they combine to create a sense of well-being. Dopamine can enhance learning, motivation, and attention. Important. Oxytocin is considered the empathy hormone and the bonding chemical. And when it enters the bloodstream, you have a feeling of relatedness to other people. That's important in the birth process, right? Endorphins trigger feelings of pleasure, right? It's been shown that people can endure 15% more pain simply by laughing for a few minutes beforehand, right? Laughter gives us a chance to modify our fight or flight response, right? Gives us a chance to get out of that automatic response and just be and respond from that inner place of wholeness that we are one with God. There's all these other health benefits. It improves your immune functioning, relieves stress, improves your cardiovascular health, reduced anxiety, gives us a sense of safety, improved mood. All of these things come simply by laughing. Now, just like changing your thinking, joy and laughter are medicine that guides our thoughts and behaviors to embody wholeness. It helps us to embody the changes in our thinking and behavior when we want to make them permanent. No, it's not just something that's going to blip by, but when we laugh and we bring that into our body, we have this body memory that we have. Like if you ever have ridden a bicycle and then you don't ride it even for a year or so, and you get back on, there's this body memory that you remember how it works. So I know in playing the piano, if it's a piece I haven't played in a long time, when I sit down and just play it without thinking, my fingers know where to go without even necessarily looking at the music because I've played it so many times, right? So whether it's laughter yoga, stand-up comedy, a funny movie, or a chat with your funniest friend, laughter really is the medicine. Now, Norman Cousins, you may have heard the story about he healed himself with laughter. In 1964, He was diagnosed with I have to look at this word, ankylosing spondylitis, which is a progressive degenerative arthritis of the spine and the connective tissue. Now, at the time, there wasn't much that the medical community could do for you when you had an autoinflammatory, autoimmune disease. And so Norman was really suffering, and he was excruciating pain that kept him from sleeping, right? So it occurred to Norman to experiment with what he knew about the power of the mind to see if laughter could help. So he developed his own therapy program with humor and daily laughter. He had the nurses show him movies, reruns of Candid Camera, and his favorite, the old Marx Brothers movies, right? He watched them every day, and he found that after 10 minutes of just belly laughing, he was able to sleep for 2 hours without interruption, good quality sleep. And at that point in time, when he first started, even morphine wasn't allowing him to sleep. So it was a life changer for him. Within 6 months, he was able to stand again. And with 2 years, he was able to go back to his full-time position at the Saturday Review, right? He wrote a book called Anatomy of an Illness, which revolutionized the medical field's thinking about the body-mind connection. And eventually he joined the staff at UCLA Medical Center to pursue clinical research in that healing power of laughter. Now, the Ukrainians, one of the things that has impressed me about the Ukrainians is this past month is the positive attitude that they have maintained despite the ongoing Russian attacks and the horror that we see on the surface every day. This week, a few days ago, Nicole Wallace was on MSNBC, and she was interviewing a man named Igor. I forget his last name, but he was a former assistant to President Zelensky of Ukraine. And Igor was describing the plight of the Ukrainians as they were hunkering down in their basement bomb shelters, wherever they were. And when Nicole asked him why he was smiling, because he was definitely smiling, he said that it was because a baby had been born the day before in the bomb shelter, 2 floors down, or two stories down, 2 doors down. Anyway, the building 2 doors down. And so all the people were so excited and so happy for this baby that they scrounged around and they found baby clothes and diapers and blankets and bottles and whatever kind of baby supplies they could to give to this mother, and watch the mom and the baby smile and be so content. And they all found joy in celebrating this new life together. They helped everyone maintain their humanity and their hope for life and joy. And this is what living is really all about, right? Now, Igor and his wife and daughter, they do have a plan for his wife and daughter to escape should the Russians actually reach Kiev, where they're living. But in the interim, they're determined to live life together, enjoy life as much as they can. And laughter and joy are an important part of their lives every day, regardless of what else happens. They have each other, right? So this week, explore how joy and laughter can uplift your spirit and transform your life. Every day this week, find something that gets you belly laughing for at least 30 seconds. You know, this is what you do in laughing yoga. You start laughing, and at first it's very awkward, but when you start, it just gets going, you know, and you start laughing, and pretty soon you're just laughing away. Sometimes it helps to have a friend to do it, or watch a funny show. But while you're experiencing that uplift of laughter, think about all the things in your life that cause you stress. You know, some of the things that Tuck was singing about. Ask yourself, what one habit, one thought, one belief that you could change that would support the health of your body, your mind, and your spirit. So let's try this out. I'd like to do a couple things right now. So this is an exercise that I learned from Adam Christing, and he's a musician that performs at the Magic Castle in Los Angeles. So he's quite a good musician to be there. But so I'd like everyone to stand up whether you're at home or you're in the sanctuary. And so now what I'd like you to do first is to put a big smile on your face, even if it's fake, that phony kind of smile, and just turn up the corners of your mouth, right? All right, now while you're smiling, I want you to put your hands up high towards the ceiling, and I want you to look up. All right. Now, hey, look, suddenly you all look like Pentecostal people, this is Sunday morning, right? And now while you're standing up, looking up with your hands up, now I want you to try and feel down. And, it's impossible. You can't feel down while you're looking up with your hands and smiling. And what's that kid's song? If you're happy and it, look up and wave your hands. That's probably not quite right, but it, something like that. Thank you all. That you can be seated now. So Ernest Holmes, in the philosophy of Emerson, he said, the laughter of a child is as important to the universe as the creation of a planet. And so while you're all settled down, I'd like you to share with you a video that I found on Reddit's Make Me Smile sub webpage. So here's a few clowns that are putting laughter to work in a situation that really needs some joy. They're welcoming some Ukrainian refugees, mostly women and children, to Moldova. Do we have sound? Do we have sound? You have to put the PC sound up. Yeah. Okay, it'll work without it.
Oh, это хорошо, набери это.
Korimata Padarak. Ай! Oopsie! Whoa! Neat. Oh. Whoa! Whoa! Wow. Everybody, hey, hip.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. So laughter really is the healing power of joy. Let's take this to prayer. In this stillness, in this place of joy and sadness, all mixed up together, there is only one breath, the breath of the one power, the one presence that is everywhere. We breathe together as one with the universe. We live and move as one. From deep within my heart, there wells up a feeling of joy that cannot be contained. It is that divine joy that fills my whole being with a sense of being loved as I am. I feel whole. I feel happy. I feel well. I release any connection to any thoughts or behaviors that would deny that spiritual truth that I am whole, perfect, and complete right here and right now. It is the infinite divine that heals my thoughts and my body. Joy flows out from my heart to enfold the whole world with joy and love and well-being. Joy calls forth the love and joy and peace from each person, each living creature. There is no need to fear, no need to control other people, for anyone to impose their human will on any other person. That divine joy, divine love, and peace are the truth of each and every person in every relationship of all kinds. Joy and love transform each person from the inside out, from that connection with spirit expressing itself. It is always there, and I call it forth. As that divine presence rises to the surface, I see it. I embrace it, for it is God, loving God. The whole world is healing. The whole world now reveals divine love, peace, and joy. It cannot be suppressed. It is the one power and presence in the universe. I release any resistance within my own mind and heart. I am at peace. I am one with the infinite, invisible. I laugh with joy. I know joy. I know love. I know and experience peace deep within my being. How grateful I am to be awake and aware of the spiritual truth that sets us free. How grateful I am to be a part of the wholeness of spirit, to laugh out loud with joy as I feel the love and the beauty of spirit flowing through every breath, coursing through my veins, through every movement, through every action, through every word, through just being and living, through my body and my mind and my relationships, every aspect of my life. All is well. All is good. All is spirit. And as I release these words to the divine law, I know that life is full of joy right here and right now, everywhere, everywhere. And together we say, and so it is. Now I'd like to welcome Tuck for one more song.
So let's enjoy a little humor. This is a song that I never thought I would ever play for a church service. But it occurred to me as I was sitting here that this is appropriate because everybody who's in this room or watching on Zoom, we all have one thing that ties us together, and that is Tahoe, right? And Tahoe is one of the most beautiful spots in the world. It's just this gorgeous lake, but it's also an attitude toward life. It is a mindset, I think, as well. And people come to Tahoe from all over the world. You have people from the East Coast, you have people from the Midwest, you have people from the Republic of Texas, you have people from Eastern Europe and Western Europe. So they come from all different time zones. But one thing that is universal is that if they stay in Tahoe long enough, well, we end up on Tahoe time. And that's a time zone that doesn't appear on any clock or any watch. Well, I woke up tomorrow. Come on. Well, I woke woke up today to a sky so blue you'd swear it's almost too good to be true. It's a day for the beach, lying out in the sun, ignoring those piles of work to be done. So I pour some tequila, squeeze in a lime. I'm living on Tahoe time, oh yeah, living on Tahoe time. Well, I quit a good job and took out my guitars. I'm spending the evenings now playing in bars, struggling at times just to make the ends meet. May not be long till I'm out on the street, and come time to retire, I won't have a dime thanks to living on Tahoe time. Oh yeah, I'm living on Tahoe time. I could wake up tomorrow and make a new start, be more responsible, do something smart. I could start my new habits by seizing the day. I could reset my watch, but I threw it away. So I think I'll just buy more tequila and limes and keep living on Tahoe time. Oh yeah, I'm living on Tahoe time. Thank you.
And at CSL Tahoe-Truckee, we know that God is our infinite source of time and all good things, and for our center and for each of us as individuals. And so your donations are an opportunity for you to support be part of carrying out our vision, embracing all and serving with love while awakening to the one. We want to support spiritual transformation in the world by sharing our Science of Mind spiritual principles and experiences of love and wholeness. We're most grateful for your donations and of your time and your talent and treasure, and for your continuing commitment to our center. So if you would please hold your offering over your heart and repeat with me our prosperity affirmation. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses the center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. All I share with life returns to me blessed and multiplied. We have our offertory song. Are we ready there? We'll find it. Yes, there it is. Well, we could try singing it a cappella, which would be better if it was. Oh, here we go. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Karen Drucker.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
But I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Thank you, Shirley. And so we bless these offerings. We know that they are given in love from the infinite prosperity that fills our lives, full to overflowing. We are grateful to our source. We are grateful to share. We are grateful to be here and be a part of the center and all of the good things it does and the transformation it supports in the world. It is all God and it is all good. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. All right. Okay, so I'd like to welcome our guests and our friends that are here with us today, visiting with us. And And if you are new to us, please add your name into the chat online. We can add you to our newsletter, or you can actually go to our website and sign up, and you'll know about all the activities going on. We're having a hospitality time after the service. And so we've got some goodies here in the sanctuary, but if you're online, stay online, and we'll be taking a computer back to the hospitality so you can talk to your friends online for a while. I also have some sad news. Yesterday, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Sue Ruta's husband, Ron, passed away. And so our prayers are with Sue and her family as they go through this time. But now, with the rest of our announcements, I'd like to call forward our practitioner of the day, Michael Brandman. Yeah, and the script is here too.
Okay. Surprise, surprise.
The bottom there.
So you can find these announcements on our Zoom link in our constant contact. Yeah. And yeah, is PC off also, Karen? Yep. Okay, great. All right. Instagram and Facebook. So our office administrator, Savannah App, continues to upload video recordings of our Sunday talk, and you'll find it available probably tomorrow sometime in the afternoon. Let's see. Check out our website. There it is. Next week's Sunday service, which will be on March 20th, in person and on Zoom. We're continuing March's CSL theme, Living Everyday Wonder, Spirit at Play. The talk will be entitled, I'll Rest When I Am Dead. Rev Pam Brandman will be here alive and well, with Colleen Aikiko as musician and practitioner Brenda Heldorn, who also will be here alive and well. Very importantly, next Sunday is our annual meeting. Very important to attend if you can, in person, if you're local, or online in Zoom. We will be having a potluck activity after service. So bring something to share for potluck right after our service. Then the board will update us on our progress to implement our vision, embracing all and serving with love while awakening to the one. There'll be time to elect new board members and review our 2022 budget and planned capital improvements, as well as time for questions and answers from those present or on Zoom. So plan to attend in person if you can. And as I already said, you can join by Zoom. And I think that is the ends of announcements, and Reverend Pam will talk about the songs of peace for Ukraine.
Okay,
correct?
I can do that.
Oh, was I supposed to do that also?
That's okay. I'll take over.
Yeah, I think you should. This is your gig.
Okay, am I back on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and this one's off. Okay, great. Okay, so there, with everything going on in Ukraine, and there's actually 70 countries around the world where there is some kind of violent conflict, not just in Ukraine. And so so many of our CSL members have wanted to be involved in praying for peace and finding that inner peace. So there's several things I'm going to be talking about this morning, and they'll all be in the newsletter, and some, hopefully most of them on the website as well. So the first one I want to talk about is in a special event called Songs of Peace for Ukraine. And this one is it's an online event on Saturday, March 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's sponsored by So Am I Worthy? And this event called Songs of Peace is a fundraiser that features some of our favorite musicians, Colleen Akiko, and she's actually one of the people helping to set this up for So Am I Worthy? And Angelica Schaefer, as well as other female songwriters and performers. I've been asked to provide a hopeful visualization for Ukraine as a part of their closing prayer, and we'll provide the link in this coming newsletter. And that's Saturday, March 26. The Golden Path of Peace is an organization that was set up by Reverend Barbara Leger when she was a CSL minister in Ukraine for over a decade. She's back in the States now, but the organization is still ongoing. And so our center sent part of our tithe this month to the organization to support their efforts in Ukraine. But every Friday at noon, Reverend Barbara leads one of their live peace talk on Facebook, and there's a link that's in our newsletter. Another opportunity for peace is during the season for nonviolence that runs through April 3rd. Our parent organization, Centers for Spiritual Living Tahoe-Truckee, is conducting a daily devotional for peace, and it's led by our CSL spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Edward Villayun. It's 6 a.m. Pacific time, a little early for me, but that's when it is. And besides the invasion of Ukraine, armed conflict is occurring more than 70 locations on our planet. And if that is too early for you, you can listen to the recordings on YouTube later in the day. Both links are in our constant contact newsletter. Now, a final option for peace in Ukraine is the daily Zoom meeting to create a spiritual chain reaction for peace. That's one of the catchphrases that Ernest Holmes liked to use, of a spiritual chain reaction, by meditating on inner peace for 10 minutes and sending it throughout the world. And so people around the world are online at the same 10 minutes, real time. And this happens to be at noon Pacific time, and it lasts through the end of March. It's led by Reverend Beth Natalie Linguri. She is the minister at CSL Geneva in Switzerland. So find a way, even if it's just meditating on your own, because as this consciousness of humankind shifts, it will also shift in the outer world. Now, our next CSL certified class here at CSL Tahoe-Truckee is called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. It's a great class, 8-week class. It starts on Tuesday, April 19th. And so if you are interested in that, please plan ahead and make the time and sign up. So for more information, watch our website and the newsletter. We have our ongoing CSL drop-in classes on Zoom, and their links are provided in the Constant Contact newsletter. We have Chris Worster's Tai Chi online class. It's on Thursday afternoons at 3:30. Mary McEnany and Penny Schuller lead the Thursday meditation with energization exercises at 4:30, meditation at 6 from 5 to 6. And Sue Pipel's book study, A Course of Love, is on Friday evenings at 6:30. Now we have our annual Easter egg hunt is on April 16th, the Saturday before Easter, from 1:30 to 3:30. And the children are going to have a chance to hunt for eggs, dye some eggs. There's some other activities that they will enjoy. Now, attendance is going to be limited to 20 children. So please sign up your children, grandchildren in advance, and call or email the center to register, or to find a link on our website or our Facebook page. Okay, let me turn this up. Now, it's also time to welcome and bless our children and wherever they are right now. And so join me in our children's affirmation. We see you, we hear you, we love you. You are a gift from God. So there's lots going on to support you. And we also have our best asset is our practitioners. They are the heart of our center. We know that prayer works, and they have studied for many years, and they're professionally licensed to be with you, to pray with you, and to help move you through some of those difficult times in your life, whether it's short-term or something long-term. They love to pray, and we know that prayer changes lives. So please call them for prayer, either right after service or make an appointment for a longer time. We'll have our affirmation slide followed by our closing slide and our closing song rather. And so then if you would stay on for hospitality. So if you would repeat with me, laughter reveals my wholeness. I think it's too loud, the sound. It's echoing. Next slide with our music. There we go.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who